You've logged on to Race.tv, where we'll be bringing you coverage from the brand new season for the Mighty Minis and the Super Mighty Minis, right here at Cadwell Park. The Mighty Minis are renowned to be one of the most popular championships available to you in British motorsport, and this weekend proves exactly that, as around about 9 brand new drivers join the series. Peter, it's your very first race this weekend, is it?
It certainly is, yeah, first time out.
Have you done any racing at all in the past?
Now, I did a couple of kart racing when I was 14, but that's like sort of 20 years ago, so it's the first time I've ever been on tarmac, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
So what made you choose the Mighty Minis?
I've had a friend who's done it. He recommended it to me, and it's just a good starting point, really.
And out in qualifying, you've come up 14th.
Yeah, really pleased with that, sort of middle of the pack. And so I did half-day testing yesterday, so just learning the track and learning the car. But on the whole, I'm pretty pleased with it to be in the middle.
Kit, it's your first time out racing this weekend, is that right?
Yeah, it's the first time around this one. Just got the car running and that. It seems like good fun, and go from there.
I hear you had a bit of a moment yesterday.
Yeah, kind of found the tyre wall on the exit of Gooseneck quite a long way down the corner. It was quite interesting.
Much damage on the car?
No, we got away quite lightly actually. It's quite happy with it. We've put it all back together and that. Got the paint marks and the rubber rubbed off, and it's looking good again.
As ever in motorsport, nothing is plain sailing, and there's plenty of action going on behind us. Louise Inch, last year's female champion, has got gearbox problems, and Chris Morgan, who's last year's Mighty Minis champion and has this year moved into Supers, also has problems. Louise, we expected to see you up there, and there's certainly in the top 3, but there's obviously something wrong with the car.
Yeah, they're just fixing the gearbox right now. I couldn't get into third, and it was just keep popping out, and then the last lap I did, it just wouldn't stay in at all, so I had to come in.
Do you know why that is?
No, I don't have any clue.
Clearly you've got a great team around you, working to get it fixed.
Yeah, good job. My dad and Melvin are here, so they'll get it done, hopefully.
Chris, what exactly are you doing down here?
We've just taken the timing cover off just to see what happened in qualifying. I only managed to do one lap, and up the back straight it was going along fine, and then the timing chain is broken, so we're just hoping it hasn't done any more damage to the head, and hopefully we can get back together for the race.
This is your first race in the Supers as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I did Silverstone at the end of last year, which was a bit of fun. So no, it'd be nice to get out and play with these boys later.
And do you think you'll be up there in the front runners?
Well, I hope so. If we can get this sorted, yeah, it'll be fine.
Pete, you're brand new to racing.
Yep.
Never raced before, never qualified before, and here you are, third on the grid.
Yeah, well, it's exciting. I knew from testing we might be quite quick, but you never have any idea, so that was a complete surprise. Very excited, so.
And Cadwell Park's probably a fairly challenging circuit to start at.
It would seem to be, yeah. I mean, I've tested it a couple of others, which are nothing like this. It's definitely the best I've been to. Favourite so far, but it would be, wouldn't it? So, if I got that far, so.
Tell us about your qualifying. What's it like being out there?
Fairly daunting. 25 other cars, or 24 other cars. Bit busy. I was screaming at a few people, but they were all very polite and, trying to be nice to people. You don't want to be unpopular as the new boy, do you?
Louise, the car's clearly finished.
Yeah, it's all ready to go. Hopefully everything's all right, so we'll just have to wait and see.
And do you think you could do it from 9th up to podium?
We'll see about that. Hopefully a couple places. I don't know about podium, but I'll try.
25 Minis are heading out onto the circuit for the very first race of the season. Louise Inch has finally got the car ready to race with the new gearbox in there, so we'll find out how she gets on and if she can challenge for a podium position. Also awaiting their very first grid ever are many new drivers, so we'll wait to see how they find it.
Yes, thank you, Gemma. And with forming up the grid for the first time this year, and on pole, car 27, Matt Pinney, in that distinctive black and green car. Next to him, the Gulf liveried car of Anthony Ford in car 17. And as they're gridding up now for the first race of the season, who knows how it will end? Red lights on, and the race is on. And it is Matt Pinney who gets a clean start away from everybody, but look at car 4 of David Holmes. He's around the outside of Anthony Ford in car 17. Anthony seems to have bogged down as they started this race, and as they go up to the coppers for the first time. Will he also make it stick against Peter Bonus in car 6? On board with Louise Inch now, who actually had a gearbox problem in practice, as we know, so she's much further down the grid than anticipated. This is a fantastic element of Mighty Minis. All of these cars are carrying on-car cameras as a mandatory aspect of the championship, and so we will be very lucky to be able to show you what it's like behind the steering wheel of one of these cars. And we're on board with Chris Slade, car 24. As they come to the mountain for the first time, it is car 27 and Matt Pinney in the lead from Peter Bonus in car 6, from David Holmes in car 4. So obviously David didn't make that move stick all the way around the circuit. No doubt lost out as they were going down the back straight towards Park for the first time. Through Hall Bends as we see them now, and it's a fantastic circuit here at Cadwell Park. What I will say is that without the support of gas shock absorbers and Yokohama tires and mini spares, Centre Limited, much of this racing would never have happened. So we do say thanks a lot to those guys for giving these chaps in the cars an opportunity to have some fun. On board again there with Louise Inch. She's got a little sideways going through Hall Bends, but down to the line for the first time, and we have car 27, Matt Pinney in the lead from Peter Bonus and David Holmes in car 4. Then look at that car 23 of Peter Turvett. This is Peter's first ever race, and he's mixing it with the front runners. Fantastic driving there by car 23 of Peter Turvett. There are 2 pink cars in this race, one of Louise Inch, which we're on board with at the moment, and another one of Michael Dryden in car 69. Sometimes, as a commentator, it's very difficult when we have teams running in a championship to be able to distinguish between one and the other. But here we are on board with Louise Inch, the lady driver, who actually did win the ladies' championship last year. So I'm sure that as this championship goes on, she'll be one of the formidable drivers at the front of the grid. Here is that other car that we were talking about of Michael Dryden in car 69. They're missing one of his back lights and also a bumper. Believe it or not, he actually had that damage done in practice yesterday when Louise, his teammate, ran into the back of him as they were going around. And into the mountain for the second time, it is definitely Matt Pinney still in the lead from Peter Bonus. And then we have car 23, Peter Turvett, in his first ever race ever, and believe that he is actually up there in third at the moment. Fantastic achievement. Michael Dryden there being chased down by car 74, Peter Marston, another new driver in this championship. Michael Dryden in that car 69, a sister car of Louise Inch, as we mentioned earlier on. Mighty Minis has been a fantastic championship for newcomers into motorsport, and at a very affordable level, and it's stunning to see some of these new drivers actually making their way up towards the front of the grid, showing that there's an awful lot of unfound or unclaimed talent in motorsport out there. This championship, thankfully, offers them a chance to get going. So, and into the mountain for the final time, it is Matt Pinney from Peter Bonus. Peter Bonus shaping up to go down the inside. He tries it, they rub paint, and Matt Pinney has to cut across the grass. He does cut across the grass to get retain the lead up the mountain, but this has thrown Peter Bonus into the clutches of David Holmes. And as they go, look at Peter Turvett. He's trying to find a way through as well. Who's going to miss out with this? Is it going to be David Holmes or Peter Bonus? Because Peter Turvett is sitting there, sitting pretty to steal something from one of these drivers as they go into the hairpin and down towards the barn for the final time. And it does look as though Peter Bonus got it very sideways there after being clipped by David Holmes, but it is, look at the lead that this has given to Matt Pinney as they come down towards the line. Matt Pinney takes the lead from Peter Bonus, and Peter Turvett, who I said was sitting pretty to steal something, has done just that, and he's third in his first ever race in Mighty Minis.
Matt, fantastic result, but it nearly wasn't, was it?
Yeah, I got a bit close towards the end there because I had a problem with my gearbox from second to third, so they closed up on me. And into the mountain, I got hit in the side, which was nearly all ended in tears, but I managed to break away, that was the plan, and get away with the first one this season. So.
Fantastic result. You obviously enjoyed it.
Yeah, hot. I'm quite hot, but yeah, I always enjoy it. It's great. Can't wait for the rest of the year.
Peter, that was a really exciting race to watch, and it had to be a pretty exciting one to drive in as well.
Yeah, most of the race was really great. I mean, I was following Matt Pinney, and he's just so smooth. And I think I put far too much into my tyres, and at the end of the race my tyres went off. And but the last 2 laps I just had to hold them back, real slow into corners and try to get a nice neat line out. And if not, this other guy he'd have been there. So yeah, this was going to be, last year was going to be my last year, but I decided I'll have one more year at it.
And what a start to the year.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, we can keep this up, that'll be okay. Yeah, that's very good. Yeah. Yep, loved it.
What a race, fantastic result.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very chuffed with that. I think I was a bit lucky at the end. Everybody's tyres were going off a bit, and I just sneaked in the last few corners and made myself the widest mini probably on the track at that point, and heart and mouth time, and came out the last corner, and there's nobody in my mirrors close enough, and third place. Yeah, chuffed a bit.
And certainly a lot of action.
Yeah, I managed to avoid most of the, I think my mini came through without any scrapes on it. The guys in front of me had a few moments, but they were very fast. I just let them get on with it and kept myself to myself until the last moment. Probably should have tried something a bit earlier than that, but very chuffed with that.
Hold your hand out. Look at that, shaking. Is that the adrenaline or is that just the nerves?
I was laughing my head off when I came across the line. Just laughing out loud. I don't know, I hope my footage worked, but you'll get me laughing and screaming across the line. So yeah, mostly adrenaline, I think.
Fantastic, well done, great race.
Thank you very much. Cheers.